happy Saturday. Welcome back to the BTM scale modeling on this special build that I got to do. Like I said in the like I will say, I talked with the client and they were more than happy to let me record this and share it with everybody. So yay. I started this after I got the Christmas presents done on December 22nd. Had it to a point by the first of the year, and then yeah, you know, some things will happen. You'll see that. But with that, guys, it was fun. It's always nice to do something I normally don't do. I know I can do lighting. I try to do lighting, and then, but to actually put it in a car. So the first car I did lighting was the Chevy Impala from Supernatural, and they saw that and they wanted me to do this car, the Nissan 370Z. So thank you, really appreciate it. So next week we'll be getting back onto the Enterprise, and yay, getting really ready to do some more work on her. But with that, if you are new to my channel, guys, please click on the subscribe button and hit the little bell, and every time I upload you will be notified. And as always, thank you to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me on these videos and all that, and the feedback's great. But and speaking of feedback, if you have a question, you have a comment, you need me to go into something a little more in depth than I did in the video or whatever, please put it in the comment section. Usually I answer within 12 to 24 hours. So with that, guys, let's get to that build. Hey everyone, welcome back to the bench, and I'm getting started on the commission build. So I wanted to share with you the unboxing. This is the 370Z Nissan. T.B.I did. It's in the 1/24th scale, so it's really cool. I've already got everything washed and done, but start sharing with you guys. Let me zoom out here just a bit so you can see. So there's the body, which is really neat. Now the only drawback is on a lot of car kits you get the hood, you know. It's a drawback and it's a good thing too, because one, I'm gonna get the hood removed, so because of the lighting and the battery I want to be able to put here, because there's no engine under here. There's just a radiator for the front effects, but that's it. So the board and everything I'm hoping to fit in here, but before I really get going on this, I want to make sure on that. And the tires, which are pretty nice. I kind of really like them. They're really good. And the chrome, and I like this chrome. I mean, to me it did a really good job, because most times when you I'm not a big builder on car kits, but a lot of the chrome work is just that you get from Monogram, Rebel, all that just doesn't work. So usually I strip it and repaint it, but I'm gonna let this go because I've already talked to the owner. So yeah, and here is the underbody. Really great stuff. Here's the disc brakes, and I cannot wait to really get into this. And yes, I will be adding my little bit of detailing to it. And the cool thing about this kit, for the interior, you have the American, where the driver is on the left side, and then you have the European version where the driver is on the right side. And that's really cool. So a lot of good little bits of detail work, so I'm really looking fun into getting to that. And then more of the body, the white parts, and the old tail lights. And what's really cool that T.B.I does, and they do it with a lot of their kits, which I'm really happy about, but they also included masks for the windshield. And the thing is, these only go on the inside to help paint that inside dark, not on the outside. Well, I'll double check the instructions. I'm pretty sure it's on the inside, but I'll double check. And then yes, I have to mask off the other windows, but that's really cool what T.B.I does. Then yes, there are decals, so should have some fun with that. And what's really neat is right here, because of the dash on the radio, or it has that navigation, so that's really gonna be cool. Can't wait to start playing with these. And then instead of doing the reflective silver, or trying to do, they actually provide these. This is really cool. I cannot wait to use these, and hopefully I don't mess them up like I'm prone to do sometimes with stuff. But yay! So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a lot of this rebagged up. I'm going to start doing some of the pre-builds. First thing I want to do is I'm going to get the rims off and get the tires on, because it doesn't matter whatever, but you're always going to have that mold line, that seam line right there, and you got to get rid of that. And I'm going to do that and get working. Oh, and yes, the owner wanted a diamond red. It's a really metallic, a really good red. I could find it, but not in model acrylics. So I shot 3 different colors, and this is the Vallejo Model Air Metallic Signal Red, and it looks really, really good. Let's see if I can not blind you. That's this one right here. Here, let me turn this off. Yeah, nope, that don't work. But that's the one we're going with. So that's what I'm going to use. So with that, guys, I'm going to get to work on this, and then we'll share when I get on, get great things done with it. So stay tuned. Well, guys, I did forget one thing. Let me show you the instructions real quick. I can't believe wow. Yeah, kind of dozed off on this. But here's the instructions, and they're pretty good. They give you, the different colors. They're T.B.I colors. And then it's the fold kind, but it does really cool. Like here, a lot of kits will just put the color and then at the part sometimes. This one actually separates it. So like X18 is semi-gloss and XF16, is flat, and it helps differentiate the colors on this. So, yay. But yeah, it's a fold out. It's a fold out like that. So I'm looking really good and forward to doing this. So now that I showed you the instructions, it's pretty cool. And then it does, do the interior and the exterior, and yep, the masks do go. Let me get this in camera. The masks do go inside to help do that paint. So, and then yes, I still have to mask off this part to keep. Sorry guys, let me get that up there. So I do have to mask off the window. Dang, let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. I do have to mask off this that I was showing you guys, but then I'm also going to have to mask off the insides, because it's like one almost entirely solid piece except for right here. So I got to make sure I keep things clear. So now that I've shared that with you guys, I am going to get back at it. Well, good Wednesday. I'm doing a little bit more work, so I'm going to share this first. This particular kit does not have anything underneath the engine except the radiator right here. So it was a great idea because like I said, the person wanted it lit. So this was one solid piece. I used my new scribing and etching tool and was able to, very carefully take the hood off, not the hit. And what I'm going to do is, because where this part, I'm going to have to repaint that. This part is actually, it sits like this, right about here, give or take. And it'll help hold the hood up. But what I'm going to do is I'm also going to maybe do a couple of holes and give it, because I thought about the magnets, but then I'm going, yeah, no. Because it sits right about there, like that. Because there's where those pegs are. And what I'm going to do is just drill a couple of holes and put a little bit of probably brass tubing or rod to help give the hood a little bit more something to hold on to. And yeah, so I need to take care of that. I need to finish sanding that down and repaint this now. Dang it. But getting done on the inside, and very easy paint. I mean, you can do different things with it, but it's all black, gloss black. So yeah, it's semi-gloss black, and then I went back with some Vallejo, the aluminum Vallejo, and did this. And then one of the pictures I got, he has a white, I don't want to say, almost looks like a cue ball, so I made sure to keep that in there. And next thing I'm going to do is get the decals in on the dash, but I did do the detail paint, which was a little fun, a little crazy. Same with the doors. Like I said, this was a pretty easy paint, but there's a little bit of detail. And then also with this kit, it does do transfers. So see if I can get it up there. If you can see that, there's that little Z in the middle of the stern wheel, and that was a transfer, not an actual decal. So that was pretty cool. So my goal is to get this deckled and then start getting these guys in, so I can see if there's any little bit more that I might have to do. And might just be, but it's going to be touch-ups. And the great thing about, especially on the inside is, I'm going to actually just do a brush touch-up with that, but I will share this when I get it done, guys, so I'll see you in a bit. Well, good Saturday morning is the day after Christmas and getting back to getting some work done on the car. So I did do some work over the break. I didn't do much. I just did a couple, skate for an hour or so here. But like I said, I did get the inside all squared away. And I like that shininess, and I do agree with doing that semi-gloss with it, so yay. Also, got the underneath done. And what you see there. And I followed close to what T.B.I wanted in their instructions, then I did a little bit of my own. I did go with the aluminum for some of the parts. And then what I did is after it got dried, I dry brushed it with burnt iron. Just a burnt iron exhaust. And I really like what it did because it gave, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when they tell you to build these cars, you make them like super pristine, even better than what they do coming off the showroom. But so I did that. I added a little age, and I also used the recommendation for chrome, but for the bolts, and I weathered those down too. But I did a little bit more than what the instructor said because I went with what I thought, and so I added a little bit more detail. And after everything was dry, I went through with the pastel chalk, just a kind of a light darkish gray, not really super dark, but not really super light either. And I brushed it on. I basically dry brushed it all on, got all the excess off, tapped it down a couple of times, and then I went through, and before I put the tires on, I went and matte sprayed it. I gave it a sealing coat of matte clear gloss, or matte clear. Then, because the person's car rides a little, it's a low rider, so I did do a little bit of modification, especially on the rear, because there's a point in the rear where this axle goes that it sits up higher and the car kind of sits more up, and so I made sure to bring it down, and I did double check with the body, and it's really good and close to the ground. So yay, I got to do a little bit of paint in there, and then the bottom, a little bit of paint into the exhaust, and then the bottom is well done. And like I said, so is the interior, and I'm not going to worry about that. So now what I did do is I did a couple of test runs on a couple other kits that I'm going to build. These are for my wife. She likes Mustangs. I am using the Vallejo Signal Red Metallic. It's really close to the paint color on the car, so they agreed that I could do that. So with this hood, I went with just T.B.I gray primer. And this hood, I went with a semi-gloss rattle can black, Rust-Oleum black. And then I did all the sanding, and I'm still working on that. These were my test runs, and I'll put them in purple solution and get rid of it. But the difference is, here's, like I said, here's the black, and here's just the gray primer. And I like the semi-gloss black because it gives it a better overall look that I was looking for, to give it that nice car look. And so, yay, going to be doing that. So as you can tell, I've gotten the parts all painted up in semi-gloss black, and then I did a wet sanding, and I think I only went with the 3000 grit sandpaper because I did not want to take a lot of it off. I mean, you can see a little bit on the edges, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through with the red, and I'm going to lightly spray this. It's going to probably take a few times, because if you, from what I've been watching and learning, if you try to cover it all at once, which I never do anyway, but if you try to cover it all at once, it bounds up and looks crappy. And then yes, there is the spoiler. So that's what I'm working on. So when I get this done and painted, I will share with you guys. See you in a bit. Good Monday morning, and gonna hopefully get the commission done this week and show you that nice shiny hood if it can. I still got to do some touch up underneath, but other than that, this is done. And what I did is got it painted like the paint, went ahead and I glossed it, because I tried a couple of techniques that I thought of, and one was doing like you normally do. You wet sand it before you put any clear coat on, make sure it's all good. But the problem with metallic paints, if you don't have it protected by a gloss or a satin coat, it's going to start taking off the paint, especially with these metallics. So I learned that, so I had to repaint, but then I glossed it, and then what I did is I just sanded and did the light sanding on the gloss, and then did the polishing and the scratch work. So I'm going to get this turned over, get this painted, and get this part sealed again. And while that is going, I have got the body ready to go to get fixed up and shined up better. And yeah. So one of the things I will say about the Vallejos, if you think you need to thin it down, go ahead. Trust me, don't add much, because this stuff, when it does come out, is a little on the more wet side, I mean runny side, and I had to do a lot of fix. I had to go down and resand some pool lines, and so I did that. And then I didn't even dilute this. The thing is, there's supposed to be go ahead and made for airbrush, is what it says. You don't have to dilute it, but you can if you want. And I didn't dilute it the next time, and I didn't get those runs. So I'm very happy with that. So now on this part, I gotta get it all ready to go, get it sanded down and get it polished up, and then it's done, because I want to get today. Mel Call is supposed to have the lighting kit, and I want to get it done, and hopefully it'll only take me a couple of days to do that. Sorry about the phone. So that's where I'm at, guys. Hopefully, like I said, this will be done here in the next couple of days, and then I'll get this video up, and with that gets done, I can get back onto the Enterprise. So I will share when I start doing this, and I will share my technique, and I learned it off of YouTube from other ones, and then some of the things that I figured out along the way. But I will share when I get started on that. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Well, back at it. The light board from Tenna Controls came in finally today. Thank you, Post Office, for taking your time. But the first thing I did is I needed to find a good spot to put the computer board. So I'm going to glue it into the rear. And I've been playing around and making sure it fits, and when everything goes in, it'll be covered by that rear. But first thing I had to do is just get this secured. So now I'm going to run the power and the on and off. I'm not switching the power this time, because I want them to be able to pick up the car and do that so they can look at it. But I am going to use the 12-volt battery that I got with this. So I'm going to have everything mounted up there, and then going to start getting crazy with the lights. Also, it does have a magnetic switch. I'm not going to run another one. And I'm probably going to put it right here, or at least right here, or right here, so when they can pass over and do the different functions. That's still I still got to see where that's going to work. But right now, I am starting to work on getting the wires and getting them in place. Very, very, very love this. I love Tenna Controls. So backup lights are good. That's going to stay in the back. The rear driving lights are the white wire, so that stays in the back. Front driving lights, easy. That goes up front. But the big one is I'm going to have to, and everything goes to, this is the negative. So I'm going to have to get everything tied in. to this one line. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to do that. So the only difference is like this. This is the right side, the yellow wire. So I gotta split it and put it around in here somewhere, and then split it so I can have everything going where it needs to. And probably the same with the orange wire, as I'm going to figure out where to split it and then just have everything running. But that's not yet, because I want to get everything in place and make sure it works with the inside and with the body on, so I can start playing with this. And then, yes, got some great LEDs to use. So I'm going to keep working on that. When I got more to share, I will be back. Well, it is Saturday, January 2nd, and spent yesterday with my daughter and my in-laws. They officially are on their way to, she's off to Fort Hood, and they're going to stay with her and visit other family down in Texas. But what I did get done before I decided to take a break is I've gotten all the lighting taken care of that I want inside of this. Now what I've done is SMDs for this brake light and this brake light, and then I did SMDs for the backup light and the turn signal. I had started with fiber optics, but that just wasn't going to work. But I did keep the other fiber optics for the brake lights, the actual tail lights there. And then all I did was I used a 1.8 red LED, and then I used this wee little lad. Here, let me see if I can, let me see there you go. And I don't know the size. I will at some point look up, but I've gotten rid of that. So now I got to finish doing some things here, but this is where I decided to mount the computer board, and then I started running everything through the front. And so the only thing in the back is the backup lights, the tail lights, and the turn signals, and the ground, and then run up to the front, the headlights, and the turn signals, and the ground. So yeah. Oh, and also I'm going to go ahead and mount the magnetic switch. If you guys have never seen one, I've already got it. It's really cool. Normally I don't use these, but I'm trying to, because most of the time I will put everything, try to fix everything down, and but now I'm going to do it on this way. So I'm going to get back to work, and I'll share more when I get it done. Alright, well, I'm getting ready to get everything attached. I've got everything worked now, and I've tested all the lighting, but as you can tell, the 5 wires, and I've got everything fit in here, because when I've tested and played with this, everything should clear. The plan. Couldn't really put it together. The less I actually try to put this on and take it off, the better, because you keep doing something like that and something's going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead, what I'm going to do is kind of like when I'm doing starships and stuff, when I go to put the bridges on, or the saucer section to the neck, I'm going to go from this point so I can roll it in, and hopefully I can stuff some of the wiring in to give a little bit more room, but that's how I'm going to do that. And then the front's real easy. There's places everywhere in the front and in the hood to hide. So going to do that. So I'm going to get back on this, and when I get her put together, I can't wait to show you guys. Well, good Monday, and yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. I had to do some more work after I started putting it together. Some of the LEDs I used weren't working out for space, and then butterfly LEDs are great. I love them, but when you start putting a little pressure or trying to do a little bit of something, they break. So when that happened, I lost headlights, I lost turn signals, I lost a lot of things. So I ended up having to break the kit back apart to fix them. And what I decided to go to, I still have to work on the running lights on the back end, basically the brake lights. But what I decided to do, because I was using SMDs on the back, I went ahead and did the same here on the front. I went ahead and I'm running an 805 SMD, and it's just going to give me a little more room to play with and work with. So yeah, and I also had to fix what I could with the windshield, because while I was trying to do solder, it decided to fleck a little bit, so I had to go sand and take care of it, and try to fix it as well as I could. So that's where we're at. I'm working on getting this thing back together, hopefully here pretty quick, and I'll be done with this in the next day or two. But now I'm gonna have a little more room and doing with what I'm doing. So I need to start tying some wires up, separating some wires, and getting ready to run fiber optic again through the rear running lights. So with that, guys, when I get more done, I will be back to share with you. Well, Tuesday and getting a little bit closer, so I've got the glass back in and everything's done and getting clean, got all these in. But like I said on the other one, I went with the SMDs, and then I used a little bit thinner fiber optic, and then I pushed everything into here. This is a space, because everything before I had it right up here thinking it was going to be enough room behind the back of the glass, and it wasn't. So I've got everything in here, and I know it looks, what the heck, but it's doing what it needs to. So and like I said, I used micro crystal clear to help secure in the canopy, because I wanted to, never have really good luck on any clear parts using CA, because it fogs. It don't matter if this is open or not, it still fogs glass. So yeah, so now I just got to do a couple more quick hot glue spots and let this get dry, and then get the back end wired up, and then get everything fit onto the body. So yeah, that's where we're at right now, guys, and when I get a heck of a lot more done, I'll definitely be sharing with you. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, getting back onto the car. Finally got the next kit in, and you guys remember me telling you I did that one trying to do a solder, and the solder flicked, and yeah, and I tried to sand it out, but it didn't look good. And then I was trying to finish soldering in the back and wasn't paying attention and hit this with my solder iron. So I talked to the buyer, the person who wanted me to do this, and I explained what had happened, and I apologized. And then I told him I was getting another kit to take care of and get what they wanted. So they were happy and great. So yay! Now on to the next attempt, I guess you could say. And so again, I'm going to take out the hood and then get everything done. I mean, the bottom is good to go. I just I've got to work with the headlights and the taillights again and get some other things repaired. But first is getting the hood off. So back to work I go. I will share with you when I get more done, guys. So I'll see you in a bit. Good Monday, and getting a little bit more work done. Been helping a friend move. They got a house, so I've been helping them move. So, but what I wanted to share with you is, on the videos before, I was talking about I tried a semi-gloss rattle can black, and then I did my regular T.B.I gray primer, and both were okay. But I did a test with it. This is just the T.B.I white primer, and I did a test, and it looked really good. I mean, here, let me show you on the old car. And this is with the T.B.I white, and I really like it. I really did like it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm getting things masked off, because I also, instead of just using the semi-gloss black T.B.I, actually I like this metallized black by Vallejo. So I'm using that for, let me show you. Ta-da! And if you guys remember, I made the mistake of I primed the inside and then did that, and I was trying to figure out, but I couldn't do any priming, but that went in very, very nice. And so, like that. So now I'm just going to get stuff masked off and get ready to do some more, I'm going to do the black first, and then get that masked off, and then do the red, but I'm masking off, because you can see here the bit of the shadowing, and I didn't like that. So I'm masking off, and that way it keeps the black where it needs to be, and then I'll mask off the black and do the red. But I'm going to get working on that, guys. So, oh, and the other thing, I'm hand brushing the mirrors. I'm using the hand brushing. You know my guys with that. But I used a Vallejo black on that too. That metallic air black. And that stuff, it went really, it leveled out really, really nice. So, yay. So I might have to do another touch up. But, so getting ever closer. So when I get more done, I will share with you guys. Well, good Thursday, everyone, and getting back to work. Had to do some errands yesterday, so I did some touch-up painting, and then I walked away and let this sit. But check it out. Love that. It looks so awesome. So next step in this is I'm going to do a little bit of wet sanding on the gloss and try to get it shined up and looking really good. Also, I finally got the photo etch I've been waiting for, and I got it on eBay, but the guy is actually out of Belgium, and that's right there, and this stuff is cool. Let me show you. So, T.B.I with this kit, let's see if I can get it there. With this kit, they give you transfers, and they look okay, but with this, I actually got the metal, the photo etch metal that I was able to do. And let me show you the plates. Yes, I did add the decal because that worked really well, but let's see. So yeah, I'm very happy. And the other thing is, I wanted to get it done and in here before I did any of the sanding and get another gloss coat on. This is the transfer from the kit, and I got it, I glossed it, then I got this down, I did it just like a decal, and then I got stuck in and was happy with it. Then I went over with some Vallejo gloss varnish to tie it in. So like I said, now's the fun part of starting to get the thing shined up. But another thing, if you guys have watched the video, all the issues I was having before with the wiring and the lights, I decided I should have done this the first time. I did everything and I hooked up all my 30 AG wire on here, so it's easier to work with in the kit once I get them all put in than trying to deal with the SMD wiring. So that's what I did. And let's see if I can bring it over here. And also here. I did drill out the holes again, but this time I actually did remember to use my T.B.I drill. It goes slower, doesn't melt the plastic, and you can do a little bit more detail work. But I dropped the bit down a lot more, a smaller drill bit, and I'm running 0.25 fiber optic line. That's going to be easier to work with than the 5.0, the 0.50. So, yay, there we go. So, let me get back to this, and I will show you more when I get it done. See you in a little bit. Alright, well, I've gotten the back again rewired and done up. And, like I said, I've used SMDs for a lot of this. I mean, the 1.8 millimeter bulbs are great, but they're almost too big for a Wine 24 scale car. So that's what I did. Now what I did here for the fiber optics, is like you saw the small optics, and then I just did a piston. And let me see if I can explain that to you. So I took a piece of this 3/16 rod, and I cut it down, and then I added a very wee piece that I could run all the fiber optics into, and I glued the LED to one side, and then I put some hot glue around this, used a toothpick to help widen it out a little bit, and then went and pushed a spare bar through there so I know I have enough to get in. So that's what I did to help ease that problem, because like I said, with the 0.50 fiber optics, they were just too big, almost just way too big. But this is where we're at. I'm getting closer to getting this done, and like I said, it's going to be done this week. So I will come back when I have more to show. Oh, and sorry guys, and got everything done and shiny and nice. And basically what I did with the, I was going to sand the clear gloss, is basically I did it just like a canopy. I only used 3000 grit sandpaper, and like I said, I did a wet sanding and very, very lightly sanded, and then I just went through the other steps of the heavy scratch remover, the fine scratch remover, and then I went with the T.B.I fine scratch remover, applied that, and then I went with the finish. So there we go. So now I get to play with all this again, but getting ever closer. So I'll come back when I have more. Well, hey everyone, it is Friday, and hopefully the last day on this kit, except for maybe a couple of touch-ups. But yesterday I went ahead and I started showing you the back, but I went ahead and got the front headlights in. Sorry, got those in. I got the bottom over here, and I'm going to get these clear pieces put together and then get started on doing the wiring. Like I said, I hope this is going to be the last day to get all this, to get till I get this finished. I'm ready to be done with this and get back to work on the refit. Yay! But after I start setting these wires down in the back, I will show you what I did. Hopefully give you some idea. Maybe if you have a better one, please let me know for the next time I do one of these. But as you'll notice, I did have I'd left a lot of slack into these, and I did that because the first time I tried it, I tried to get them as short as I could, and the problem is they didn't always were easy to work with. So I'm gonna leave this slack and take care of that with the hot glue. And also, I'm not gonna put in the clear part until I get the back done and I'm ready to put this body onto the chassis. So with that, guys, I'm going to get back to work, and when I get more done, I'll be back and share with you. Alright, well, everything's wired in, everything's working. So getting there, got the clear piece in, I'm going to go eat some lunch and let that get set. And the other thing, guys, is while the empty trunk, let me zoom out, sorry about that. The empty hood is great to work with. You're going to have to really figure where I've got this works, how I've got this in here against this back wall, because I bring it up any higher and it starts messing with this. But now I left enough slack that I can actually, once I get it on, I can start pushing them in between here under this, so I can help hide them a little better and make them work a little better. But yeah, so when you go to put these down, look at it, just test it without the canopy at first, without the clear part, sorry. And what I did is I put it on, I could see what was going up too high or what, wasn't working. So I did a little bit more of hot gluing and got those in place. And then once everything's here in a couple hours, once everything's ready to go, I'm gonna flip it over, get it set, and finish getting this thing wired up. So that's where we're at right now, guys. So I'll come back when hopefully I'm almost done with this girl. Alright, only one thing left to do is get the side mirrors on, but there's a couple of things. This kit was molded. This is all, the top part was all one piece, and like I said, I cut the hood out. But when you do that, especially with the part that's molded, something I learned is you need to make sure, because once you cut that plastic, it likes to spread. And so what I did, it's still got a gap, but not as bad as it was. So what I did was I put a piece of styrene rod in and did epoxy and then kept it together. The other thing was I had this piece for the windshield wipers, and that I actually had it onto this, but the problem was because of the post that I had, the pins, or yeah, the little brass rod I was going to put in there, it wasn't letting it sit all the way down. So I took this off, drilled out the hole, and I had to bend this down just a little bit. And I definitely used my solder just to get a little bit, but it's a lot closer than it was. So I'm happy with that. So like I said, all I got to do is the mirrors, and do a couple of touch-ups, but there we go, guys. So stay tuned, and I will have the finished photos on, and we will see it working. So I'll see you in a bit. Well, good Saturday and getting everything done up. I got a little bit of touch-up to do, but the kit is done. And I'll turn the lights on in a second, but I wanted to show you. And nice front. Yeah, the hood, yeah, it's working. I'm not as pleased with it as I wanted to, but it is definitely a lot closer than it was. But yay. And the driver's side, like I said, you can see that little bit on the hood, but hey, I'll take it. for now. It's good. And there is the back. Okay, before I get that turned on, the board I use, like I said, is from T.B.I. And you turn on, slide the power switch to the on, and the front and rear driving lights will come on. Then the first push it will turn on the high beams. The second swipe or push will turn on the left turn signals. The next one is the right turn signals. Then the next one is the rear brake lights, then the backup lights, and then the hazard lights. And then the last one is you turn it on, push it, and it just does it. It goes through that sequence. So let's get started, and I'll show you what the inside looks like real quick. So give me just one more second. Right, so before I turn it on, this is the inside. Like I said, I did the board on the main bottom in between the inside compartment and the lower deck, and then did everything here. And like I said, I went with the momentary push button. This does have the magnetic switch, but I thought the button would have been better in case my the client misplaced, lost the magnet, whatever. And then it runs on a 12-volt battery there. So I'm not going to go through. I'm going to go through everything, but I'm going to get it to that point where everything turns on, and I will share that with you guys. So wait one more second. Okay, here we go. And then I'll turn it around to the back so you can see that. And now to the back. Pretty cool, huh? So, with that, guys, thanks for being patient with me getting this up, and I'll have the video here posted soon when I get it edited, but there we go. I am now done with this, and I will be getting back to work on the Enterprise. So, until next week, have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great and awesome week, and I'll see you on the bench next week.